Hello everyone, my name is Greg and I dev stuff. Welcome to episode 27 of the Tactics game in Unity, Essential Scene System. Okay, we want to introduce a level and experience information to the status panel. So let's make an experience bar for our character by duplicating HP bar. Let's rename them in the hierarchy and add some text to make it more clear what purpose of those bars. Good. Now in status panel script we want to pass the info about character level to those new objects, so we need to add fields for them so we will be able to reference them. Reference them in the editor. Then in update status, set the values. Now we should see experience bar reflecting character experience value and its level. Good. Prefab the status panel, because we will be using it on other scenes soon. So now let's go back to our combat scene. And we will want to replace our older status panel with a new fancy status panel. Before we had the status panel component on the game manager, but now we will have status panel component on the well status panel. So let's remove the status panel component from game manager and instead add status panel manager to the status panel object. And that should be enough actually. Let's test this. Good. This episode was brought to you by generous support of people on Patreon and members on YouTube. If you want to join them, link to my Patreon in the description and join button available right now on YouTube. So imagine you want to introduce a new stage, a new battlefield. Each and every battlefield will share exactly the same components, with only terrain and some stage-specific objects being different. Each battlefield will have game manager, Each battlefield will have camera, or player and opponent forces. Each battlefield will have canvas with UI showing information. So each battlefield will be sharing some essential components and objects for combat to function. So we can separate essential components for combat into an essential for combat scene, which will be always loaded when combat is running. Meanwhile, the terrain and level or stage or whatever you can call it, specific elements will be loaded additively to this scene. It pretty much means you will have two scenes loaded at the same time, the combat essential scene and stage specific stage scene. Create a new empty scene. Make sure it is additive. Let's call it combat stage. And rename the sample scene with all our combat systems into combat essential scene. Future Greg here. If you created a scene but forgot to set it to be additive, what you need to do is to drag and drop the essential scene, which currently is called sample scene, and the newly created combat stage scene into the hierarchy. And you will see them being loaded exactly the same way as it is right now. When you operate in this kind of environment, you must make sure that your combat essential scene is an active scene, which you can check by making sure the name of the scene is highlighted and written in bold cases. And if it's not active, make it by clicking Set Active Scene, like this. Good. So now we want to move our stage environment to the combat stage. Don't worry about the errors, we will fix them soon. So we have moved terrain and everything related to the stage environment to the combat stage. Now we need to fix all these errors. On the stage scene, create a new object called Stage Manager. Inside we will be storing reference to everything important on this stage scene, which we want to be able to easily reference. So our combat works with the grid on the stage, because you're moving characters on this grid or attacking objects on this grid, etc, etc. So create a field so we can reference the grid of the stage scene. Reference grid in the editor. Move character to the combat scene. Dependent on the mission, you want to pre-place some enemies or your characters. So our designer will be able to place characters on the stage while designing the stage, and he doesn't need to touch anything in the essential scene. Now we need to solve issue with references in the mouse input. Cache the reference to the stage grid. In the move character, we need to cache the reference to the stage grid. In the marker, we need to cache reference to the stage grid. And in the select character, we need to cache reference to the stage grid. Then we need to pass reference to highlight system. So in the stage manager, make two public fields, one for move highlight and one for attack highlight. Reference them in the editor. When I think about it, we might move those highlight pointers into essential system later on. For now, let's keep them on the grid object. Then we need to cache reference to the highlighters in the movement command. And in the character attack, we need to cache reference to the grid and grid highlight for attacks. And in the clears utility, we will need to add field for pathfinding into stage manager. Don't worry, I understand it is a little confusing right now, but over the course of coming episode, we will continue refactoring the systems, and it will become way more clear why we are making these changes. Good, this is it for this episode. If you have any questions or any ideas about code, please leave your comment below. If you want to support me, link in the description. Special thank you to Stormbreaker 9000 and the Salt Hashdu for their generous support. With best regards, see you in the next episode.